back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nita, and if you're seeing my face for the first time, you're welcome. Feel free and enjoy this video. You can as well check out my other videos. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. So in today's video, I'll be talking about loneliness in marriage, the signs, the contributing factors, and what to do if you're lonely in marriage. So be sure to subscribe, like, share this video, and drop your comments down below. Loneliness is an emotional, painful experience. It is also one that many people don't talk about. Unfortunately, these feelings can have a negative impact on both your physical and emotional health. Remember that solitude is not the same thing as loneliness. You can be alone, but not lonely. And you can also spend time with your spouse, but still feel isolated and emotionally abandoned. Living with another person isn't the cure for loneliness. It is your feelings of being connected to your spouse that keep you from feeling isolated and alone in your relationship. So, these are the signs that you might be feeling lonely in your marriage. The first sign is that you don't talk to each other. Perhaps you feel your spouse isn't interested in what you say, or maybe you don't just feel like telling them about the ins and outs of your day. In either case, you are not communicating, and it's leading to feelings of isolation and disappointment. The second sign is that you find reasons to avoid your spouse, and this might involve staying at work for a longer time, finding things to stay busy away from your partner, or scrolling on social media to avoid interacting with your spouse. And the third sign is you rarely or never have sex. Not only is your relationship lacking emotional intimacy, but you are also lacking physical intimacy. And the fourth sign is you feel lonely even when you are together with your spouse. Even in the presence of your spouse, you feel empty, unwanted, and misunderstood. It feels like there's a separation between you two that you don't know how to fix. There are many factors that contribute to loneliness in marriage. And number one factor is work and family. One of the most common reasons why married couples feel as if they are drifting apart is due to the pressures from work and family. When you're both struggling with busy schedules, filled with caring for the children, working, juggling other responsibilities, you may feel like two ships passing in the night because you really have time together as a couple. And you might find yourself feeling more and more that you are growing apart from your partner. And number two is stressful events. Sometimes the challenges that couples face together can create rifts in their relationship. A stressful or traumatic event can put a strain even in the strongest of relationships, and it can feel even more difficult if it magnifies or exposes weaknesses in your marriage. For example, losing your job is something that can become more difficult if you feel like your spouse isn't being supportive or sympathetic. In these cases, you may find yourself feeling abandoned and lonely even after the stressful event is resolved. Number three factor is unrealistic expectations. In some cases, your feelings of loneliness might have nothing to do with your spouse and more to do with your other needs that aren't being met. For example, poor interpersonal relationship outside of your marriage can cause you to expect your partner to meet all your social needs because you're looking to your spouse to fulfill a need that they cannot be reasonably expected to fulfill. So, number four contributing factor is lack of vulnerability. Not being vulnerable to your partner can also lead to the feelings of isolation. And this means that the person you're closest to doesn't know the personal, intimate details of your life. If you're not talking about your dreams and your fears, then it is much more difficult to feel understood and connected to your spouse. And number five is social media comparisons. Making unrealistic comparisons to relationships you see portrayed on social media can also contribute to feelings of loneliness. If you're feeling lonely in your marriage, it is important to figure out what might be causing it and take steps to address the problem. Getting to the bottom of the issues now can help you work toward building a healthier relationship. So, the very first step is to talk to your spouse. Talk to your partner about what you're feeling and see if they are experiencing the same thing. If you're both feeling lonely, then it's likely something you can work on together to reconnect and build a deeper sense of connection. But if this sense of loneliness is one sided, then it might be more difficult to address. If your partner is being emotionally supportive, but you still feel lonely, then it might be something else within yourself that you need to work on. And the second step is to avoid blaming. As you work on overcoming loneliness in your relationship, it is important to avoid placing blame because this can cause your partner to feel attacked and become defensive. Instead of framing this conversation around what your partner isn't doing, focus on talking about your own feelings and needs. For example, instead of saying, "You never asked me questions about my day," you rather say, "I've been feeling alone and it would help me if you asked me about my experiences and feelings." And the third step is to spend more time together. Getting more quality time with your spouse is another important step. The demands of daily life, including family and work, can make it hard to focus on your relationship. Doing things like carving out time for a date night, going to bed at the same time, and talking about your days are just a few things that can help you feel more connected to your spouse. And if you've watched this video to this point, let me know in the comment section. Type "creating limits." So the fourth step is to create limits around your social media use. Limiting your social media use can also be helpful, as heavy social media use may contribute to increased feelings of isolation and loneliness. It can also contribute to unrealistic expectations about your own relationship. When you see filtered highlights about other people's lives and relationships, it may make you feel less positive about your own spouse. Creating limits around your social media use can also give you more time to spend with your partner. If you find yourself scrolling through your newsfeed instead of talking to your partner, consider creating a time and space where you put down your phone and focus on each other instead. And the last but not the least step to take if you're feeling lonely in your marriage is to get professional help. If loneliness is still causing problems, then consider talking to a therapist about why you are married but lonely. Couples therapy can be highly effective and can address problems with trust, intimacy, empathy, and communication. A therapist can help you learn more about how to connect with each other, develop stronger communication skills, and work on any underlying issues that might be interfering with your marriage. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.